Hello YouTube, it's Fuego. Welcome back to another episode of my Hardcore Island Survival. I'm doing a little bit of fishing here to start off since we had gotten that lure rod last time we were playing, and it's raining, so you get a little bit faster fishing speed, like how quickly the fish come to bite your line when the rain is happening. I'll probably fish on occasion, either off screen or maybe in between takes and stuff. For the most part, I won't bore you guys with just standing there fishing, but if I get anything special like enchanted books or anything like that, I'll let you guys know when it happens. But in the meantime, I will put that away, put up that sugarcane and stuff that we've got, and we'll get started with what we're doing today. We're gonna make a really good amount of progress on our roof today. Thanks to my friend Mel, she reminded me of a very important factor with when I was cutting up, oh, there it is. When I was cutting up my copper blocks here and the amount of blocks I can get for the roof. So before, I was converting the blocks to cut copper in the crafting grid here, where you get 4 cut copper for 4 blocks. And she commented saying that I can put these blocks directly into the stone cutter, and you actually get 4 per 1 when you go this way. So basically, I'd already be over halfway done with the roof if I was paying attention before. So thanks to Mel, we should be able to get a fair bit of progress done today with that. I'm just gonna check real quick to see. Okay, so we're gonna need, what, 26 of these will need to be slabs, and then we'll need 13 blocks, 26 stairs, so should be a fair amount of stuff to do here. So I think if I do 13 of those, so that's 13 by 4 for stairs, so we actually don't need that. I think we just need 7. See, we just got 28 out of those, as opposed to the way I was doing it before. I would have just gotten 7 out of that. So very much thank you to Mel for that one. And then we need, what, 13 of those, so same thing, we'll just do 7 into that. We'll do that last little bit afterwards, but things on the schedule for today, along with the roof, we got a couple buried treasure maps the other day, and I want to make sure that we get a chance to do that. Also, I see now I did not need to do exactly as many as I did for those blocks, but that's okay. We can convert those into slabs for the top. But we got a couple buried treasure maps, so I want to go check those out, and then I'll probably do a little bit more building. If we get this roof enclosed, I'll probably actually, you know, stylize the interior of our house a fair bit as well. Yeah, I think this is actually going to be enough for us to complete everything here. So let's see, we need to get 11 more of these, and then 26 more slabs. I think we might be able to do this. So 3 of these to go into blocks. And then how many slabs do you get out of one? You get 8. Is that 24? I think I need one more. We'll have a little bit left over, but I'll probably use these cut copper extra. So I probably could have been done with this roof ages ago if I had, you know, actually paid attention. I have no idea why it is that you get so much less if you do that method, but that's fine. And just like that, we will be done with our roof. Oh my gosh, we did it! We finally have a roof on our house. Something that should have been done ages ago. Okay, let's see, I need, what was it, 2 stairs, or how did I do this? Just 2 slabs. Okay. I think I've got those downstairs somewhere, but man, feels nice having a properly enclosed roof. So what do I want to do for the floor in here now? Let's see, that and that. And I don't have a need for this ladder anymore. And ta-da, we have a roof on our house. If I add a second story, maybe I'll put like an attic space. I'll put like some dormer windows up there somewhere, or an up above window or something, but we finally have a completed house, so that's nice to see. Well, that's awesome. I was smelting up some stone to get for the flooring in here, and this guy spawned in. So he's got some trades that I've got in experimental villager trading enabled, and he's selling an enchanted iron pick, which I don't think I'll be able to get. Dark oak saplings, which would be nice, except I'd have to have 20 emeralds to get enough to recreate that, so that's going to be pointless. Some pale oak logs, which could be cool. That pick would be nice, but I think we can get to enchanting before long. But I can actually get that emerald right away for the water bottle. And I should have... yeah, I should have enough iron. Oh, and I have another water bottle. Should be able to make a couple buckets of water. I think it's funny that the water buckets specifically need to be filled water buckets so you can sell to them, instead of just empty ones. Okay. Well, we've got 6 emeralds here. Got 7 emeralds, so is there any of this that I want to buy? I'm gonna buy a beetroot seed, not because I actually care about beetroots, but I don't have them. And I'm gonna buy these. I'll buy one more, okay. Half a stack of a new wood type, that's kind of nice. And then I also put this beetroot seed in the garden. I don't know if you can tell, but those are carrots that I got from that ocean ruin over there. And so I'm growing those out. We'll grow some beetroot seeds out. And, well, let's just say these guys won't be here when we get back. All right, now that that's done and over with, let's get on to doing the floor of our house. So I got some decorative stone from that ocean ruin the other day. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the floor, and I think we could do a mixture of stone bricks and like cracked stone, regular stone, and andesite, and get kind of a fun look going here. So I'm just gonna randomly place the cracked stone around. Couple pieces of andesite, probably, yeah, keep those largely near the cracked bricks. And then we'll do some smooth stone in a couple random places. Then we'll pretty much just go through and fill everything else out with stone bricks. And I think there should be enough here. If not, we can convert that last little bit of stone into bricks. And then we can rearrange all of the bed situation and storage and all that. Nice, yeah. Okay, this already, it feels like so much more complete of a house than we've had the entire time. And then, let's see, yeah, I got that spruce door. I don't know if that's my favorite, actually. We might switch the door out later. And I think I have decided, now that our house is becoming more complete, we're going to convert these into window panes. But I will have uses for these at some point, I'm sure. Let's see. one little trick we can do to add a bit more texture, especially from the outside. We're going to switch all these out for upside down stairs. It's going to be kind of like with the door here. It just adds a little indentation above where we're going, and this will help keep mobs from following us in from behind. Let's see. Oh wait, I already have glass. Haha. Right, because I made those bottles for the trader. So we'll put those in. Then we need six wooden stairs. I can't see. Do I have any? No, I don't have any already. Get rid of all that junk, and I could do these from inside or from outside, but usually I prefer the outside being slightly better. Oh, right, I need more. All right, there we go. That is a much nicer looking house now. It's at least a complete looking house. And we've got a fair bit of oxidization happening from above. If I can get bees ever, we'll wax a little bit of that so we can have some fun patterning there. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a loft here above the door, and then we'll put like a window up above there. And then we'll have like a different area here. And then usually what I do, so we'll probably have a loft with like stairs going up here. Maybe actually stairs going up this way. And then here, I know I just placed these, but we'll have a staircase going down. And usually I'll put my storage down below like that. So I am going to dig out a basement real quick, and I will be right back. So we'll see you guys in a moment. All right, I've got us a basement dug out, and surprisingly it was entirely dirt down here. Normally when I do these, I dig down like a layer or two of dirt and then it's all stone beneath. So normally I'd swap this all out to give it an even texture, but I don't know, I don't mind the entirely dirt. Maybe we'll swap the floor out with something, but this will basically just be our storage room for right now. This is where I'll keep like all of our crafting benches and everything, our furnaces, all that kind of stuff. It'll be very utility based. And usually when I play, I'll keep this set up until, I don't know, I'll probably like fill chests into this section. Maybe both of these. This is a big enough space, I might be able to get a fair bit out of it, but usually I'll keep this for a while and then I'll eventually move into a bigger area. Okay, this is actually a pretty decent start. I don't have, I mean, I technically could make them. I don't have enough leather, but I don't have like item frames labeling things yet, and I don't really like using signs, but I've got everything kind of organized the way I usually do. So I usually do like dirt, sand and gravel, cobblestone, don't have anything in that one yet, assorted blocks, and then like assorted decorational and other wood stuff. Like I kind of do broad categories when I do my organization, but now we can get started up here. And I think we'll keep it kind of simple. We'll just use probably oak, and we'll make like a slab, a loft up here, and then stairs to get up to it. It'll probably be the stairs going straight through there. So let's see what we've got for oak. We have to plant some trees and collect some more here before long. Let's see, we'll get a second crafting table put up here. Oops, didn't need to place that. That's fine. So we'll get a fair amount of slabbage going. I don't like having odd numbers of wood. Let's see, and then we'll get some stairs going. Probably way more stairs than I actually need. So if I do that. Does that prevent me? It does prevent me from walking down, so I might need to back that stair up. Because I don't want this too close to the rest of that. Oops. No man left behind. Okay. And this loft is going to be where I have my bed. Let's see. How far out do we want our loft to go? Do we want it to like perfectly subdivide the house, or do we want it lining up with this window? Kind of seems all right, but we could also have it go out that far. So that's the middle of the house. Yeah, I don't mind that actually. So yeah, we'll have plenty of space for a bed here. Let's do like a plus sign shaped window maybe. Yeah, I think that could look nice. So then you just run up here. We'll have a nice bed that'll, what way do we want the bed to face? Maybe that way. I do want to change the color of this bed as well. I think this beetroot is going to come perfectly in handy for that, because I can turn it into red dye. I don't always go with a red bed, but they are pretty iconic. Okay, let's get that up in there. It feels kind of funny to have my bed facing away from the loft, but I kind of like the idea of, yeah, we'll be able to see the sunset. Let's get some glass on that window. So let's see, that was going to go like that, but now if we go, it's going to kind of change up our stair situation. No, that's still not enough. That does change things. Oh. Well, it also changes things if I have them placed wrong. So that means I can have that. Oh, well. See, if I wasn't a fool, it should be safe to do. That's fine. There we go. Put you back. Put all of that stuff back in there. This chest, maybe we'll change that to be one. Well, I actually don't use that stuff very often, but I'll change that to be a different chest out, I think, later. What do I need now? I really want to put some kind of like trap door or fence going across that rail, but I don't want it to be oak, because that's going to be way too much oak going on in one place. I don't think that the pale oak is going to look that good, but maybe I could do like, I think birch trapdoors, although I think oak trapdoors are slightly darker, so maybe those won't look terrible. Yeah. Have to get some more, but you do it either like that, or actually it's a little bit annoying to do, but if I go like this, I'll go downstairs and make some more, but yeah, then it adds just that little bit of overhang, that just extra bit of textural depth. Okay, and then get some glass panes. I only need 5. There we go. Yeah, we get a nice little view when we go to bed. And if we go to bed actually at like sundown, then we get to see the sunset. Let's get 13 copper slabs up in here. And the main reason for this is just because when once this copper starts to oxidize, that granite stripe through the middle will probably look a little weird from the inside, but all right, so we've got a nice little loft. I'll get to like proper decoration down here later, but I suppose we can get at a minimum, we can get a painting up in here. I think we'll hang like a maybe a 3x3. We'll see. We'll get some paintings going. It's gonna need some sticks for that. Okay, so do I want any paintings up here? I don't think so. I don't think there's really a good spot to put one, but over here, ooh, do I have string? I know exactly what I need that will make my life just a littlest bit easier. Because I got bamboo on our adventure the other day, and I've got some string so I can make scaffolding. Along with bundles, one of the most underappreciated features and items within this game. Man, it rains all the time here, which most people I think would complain quite a bit, but I actually really don't mind Minecraft rain, especially with I've got like an unobtrusive rain texture pack. Okay, here, how do I is a 3x3 gonna look too big in this space? I think so. Okay. So I think what I need to do, yeah, now I have to decide which of the 1x2 vertical paintings I actually want. Because we've got this one, and the fish. I don't think that there's any more beyond that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty decent. And then, do I want to... Yeah, let's just get... I don't like when my spaces, especially on like houses that I'm living in, feel too empty. So I don't know if I'm gonna love having white furniture, but we'll see. So let's do a little couch here. It's kind of got a pinkish tone to it. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. And then we'll get, yeah, especially when you look at it compared to the wall. So I'll probably actually change up this table at another date, but ooh, I think another painting. I think a 2x2 painting right here. Okay, not what I expected. I was actually wanting, I think, that exact painting. I think that meshes well with the furniture we've got going here. I think I'm going to change this out at some point, but yeah, in fact, I'm going to change it out right this second. Let's see. We'll just do... It's a real simple one, but we'll just have that as like a little table in here. I'll do a better job later, but it just felt so empty walking into here and having nothing. And then we've got our storage down here. So that is a very good start to what we've got going in here. And even just when you walk by from outside, now it feels lived in, seeing, you know, the loft and furniture and everything like that. So I was fishing just before we left because I saw it was going to be sundown soon. But I just wanted to bring you guys back for a second because this is the very first drown we've seen here, which is really weird considering we're on, you know, hardcore, we're on hard difficulty, and we live, you know, in the ocean. Also, maybe I'll keep these guys around because they just immediately started going after this guy. I'll help him out, but it's pretty cool. I didn't really get anything special, just some fish and another broken bow, but we'll get going on our adventure. It does look like there's another shipwreck that I must have just gone right by the other day when we were playing, so I guess we'll loot this real quick. If it has a map, I imagine it's just going to take us right where we were before. Also, I wonder, I don't know, leather blast prot. Curse of Vanishing. Well, that's kind of funny because if I die, I lose it anyways. 3 armor, 4 armor. I don't know if that'll be better or not. And then some suspicious stews. Well, we'll see if this happens to be either of the 2 treasure maps that we already had. So ID 0, 1, and 2. So this actually might be... Okay, and then what does that one look like? Okay, we have 3 separate treasure maps. So we're going to go towards this one first, I suppose. All right, we are right on top of the X. I've heard there's some people who have like specific tricks for getting the exact spot figured out on where these go, but I'm just gonna place a door right down here, and if I have any torches, I think I put them in here. There we go, so we can see a little bit better. And we're just gonna dig out all of this sand and gravel and everything until we find where this chest is at. Ah, there we go, okay. I was a little bit off on my initial door placement and kind of dug all the sand out over here, but we should get a pretty decent amount of loot from this. There we go, yeah. All right. Heart of the sea, some cooked fish. I'm gonna have to organize quite a bit over here. Some TNT. Okay, what can I actually throw away? All right, I got all 3 of those chests dug out. I'll show you guys the loot we got from them in a second. But I also found another of these ruins. So that's the one we were doing last episode, and then we've got this one right here. I looked around to see if it had a chest, couldn't find anything, dug out all the gravel and stuff. I'm gonna save the suspicious gravel that we've got here. Ow. Ow. Dang. Babies hit hard. So the second one that I was off on my way to first is going to be just right over here. There's a trick where you can, using like the debug information, you can get a very precise spot. But the trick that I am aware of is if you line yourself up on the map, roughly like centered where you just have like a pixel poking out like of the white there, that's usually around the spot. But ow, oh my gosh, okay, hang on, I'm gonna die to these freaking drown. I said earlier that we haven't seen any drowned, and here I am getting swarmed by them. Okay, fight mode. Of course, I decided to drop my shield off at home when my inventory got too full. Okay. Gotta make sure I don't drown either. Oh my gosh, the babies are so hard to hit. There's a new update coming soon that gives the baby zombies, and I would assume baby drowned as well, a better hitbox. And that update cannot come soon enough. More importantly, not only will they be easier to hit, but they'll no longer be able to fit between 1 block high gaps, which should make a lot of the game just safer in general. Okay, there we go. And we got his head. But anyways, so yeah, that's the trick. You just kind of want to line up at the top. But this one seems to be a pretty decent haul that we got out of it. Can I fit all that? I can. And then the third and final one wasn't terribly far away either. This was a lot easier of one to dig out. It was just right here on the surface. Didn't have nearly as much stuff in it, but it did have a diamond. So we're now up to 2 on the diamond front, and decent bit of gold, emeralds, potion of water breathing, and plenty of hearts of the sea. I won't be able to actually use those until we can come across more like prismarine blocks or sea lanterns, that kind of stuff. So maybe we'll get lucky and find some of those in more of these underwater ruins, or maybe we'll just come across an ocean monument proper. But I'm gonna get us back home, get our inventory sorted. I think we're gonna do the pig pen right over here, partially because I don't know if I actually plan on really actually farming the pigs or anything. I never really do much with pigs, mostly because since they only drop pork chops and steak is better than pork chops and cows give leather, that's usually my go-to for getting food. And then sheep I'll farm so I can have wool. Pigs, they don't really have the biggest function in my opinion. They were a lot better early on in the game, especially because, you know, back before horses and stuff, that was the only way if you wanted to have a traveling mount. But and the gate in there. And we got 1 pig already entered. He knew exactly what his destiny was. So yeah, we'll just have that. Pretty sure that matches the same way I was making those ones over there. And I should have plenty of weeds, so I don't even need to bother with carrots. Is that it for pigs? I don't know if there's any more beyond this. And I kind of actually like how the leaf litter looks in here. I think what I might do even is let's make some horse dirt. Because I feel like pigs, they need to have a... Ooh, actually, I know what I'm going to do. And then we'll do... We'll make that one course. Or not course. Move out of my way, pig. Just a nice little daisy for them. This is where having more than 1 bottle would be helpful, but that's fine. Oh, but I didn't know that you could do that to coarse dirt specifically. They can have a nice little... No, you can't do it onto grass. They can have a muddy little area. Because they're pigs. And we'll add in a couple more of these and... Sure. There you go, piggies. And then let's make ourselves a fishing / boat dock. Because while I do like how this little sandbank is, and I might like make this little beachy area later on, but I want to have like a dedicated fishing spot. We'll go with right here. And the trick that I was mentioning is I didn't come up with this idea, but I've seen, I don't even remember when, this was years ago, but if you put a darker stripped log beneath the water, you can even technically do this, like if you're doing spruce and oak, you can do the unstripped versions, but for oak to birch, you kind of need to strip them. But if you put them underwater like that, should have seen that coming. And then you put these on top. What it kind of makes it look like is the lower half of the log has been like, it's been waterlogged and it's gotten, you know, discolored and everything over time while the dock has been sitting there is kind of the vibe that it gives to me. Here, we'll just build some artificial dirt for, oh my gosh, that there's a lot more falling sand there than I thought there would be originally. And then let's see. This one I might just have to have pillar all the way down, but you know what? I'm never gonna be swimming under here, so normally I don't like making things that feel as if they would not be structurally sound. It's like I don't like having like foundations on sand. Just makes the world feel more lived in and believable for me. But we'll get that going, and then I'm gonna need to make more slabs here. Still might not be enough. It'll do for right now. We'll add some onto the edges of that. Let's see, and I'll probably, I think I'm going to extend this out further, but I'll probably do that later on. But this will be my little fishing zone. And then something we need to work on, I think this is going to be in the next episode, is kind of getting some like pathing going between the zones. So I'll probably end up like knocking this back some here, and then I don't know the exact pathing materials I'm gonna do. Oftentimes I'll just do like the path blocks like that, and then normally I prefer this with spruce, but since what we have is oak, I'll probably still don't love this angle. I'll probably push this entire piece of bank back, but I'll kind of do something like this, where it's the path block leading into, I didn't need to break that whole thing, but the path block leading into slabs, and then that leading up, so that way I don't have to like run and jump around so much, not waste quite as much food, and it also just kind of ties the whole place in together. But this will be the vibe we'll go with, and we'll get that going in the next episode. I think this is probably all the time that we've got for today. I'm not sure when I edit it down how much footage this will be, but I think we've made quite a bit of progress today. We've got our houses fully wrapped up finally, and a little bit of an interior going on. I need to decorate this area up here and probably refine down here a little bit more, maybe make like a kitchenette or something like that. But it's starting to actually, you know, feel like a home, and I'm starting to, you know, come to love this little island. So we'll see you guys next time, and yeah, have a good one.